Good morning. Here we're going to take a look at finding rational zeros. And we're going to go through some things that the book tells us, and then we're going to take a look at the modern type of uses of technology that we have, things that I didn't have all those years ago when I was in school sitting where you are. The first thing you need to realize is the equation itself, the function itself, is going to give you some helps. Okay? If you have integer coefficients, okay, so not irrational, not square roots, it could be rational and then you just multiply by your common denominator if they're fractions. But if they have integer coefficients, then every rational zero has the following form. Now, there might be irrational zeros. Every rational zero is going to have plus or minus factors of your constant term divided by factors of your lead coefficient. So notice you've got to be able to pick out your constant. You've got to be able to pick out your lead coefficient. Most of the time, your functions are written in descending order of your variable. But if it's not, you want to put it in descending order so that you've got your lead coefficient first, your constant at the end. If there is no constant, remember you can always factor out a variable, an x, and then look for constants from there. All right, so we're going to practice finding those. Okay, the lead coefficient is 6, and our constant is -8. But we don't have to worry about the -8 because all of our possible rational roots will be factors of the 8, 1, 2, 4, and 8, divided by factors of our lead coefficient. So factors of 6 would be 1, 2, 3, 6. Okay, now if you were to look in the book they would actually go plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 4, plus or minus 8, and then they would divide by 2. The only new one that adds is 1/2. They divide by 3, and you can see this will get long and long and long. So I am going to allow you, get myself kicked out of math teachers club, but I'm going to allow you to just write them that way. But please recognize, you've got 8/3 or -8/3. So when you start looking at what could work, realize that we don't list them all out, but they are all here in the list that we're showing. Erase that. There we go. Okay, so on this second one, the possible rational roots would be plus or minus factors of 10 over factors of 4. Okay, so don't forget the plus or minus. When it comes time to put this on a test, this is going to be worth 1 point. The factors of the constant being in the numerator is going to be a point. Factors of the lead coefficient being in the denominator is 1 point. That is a 3-point problem. 3 points there. So when I ask, what are the possible rational roots? That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so now once you have your possible rational roots, our book is saying, okay, here's what you do to find them. You list them all out, and then you guess and check. Okay? I have never been fond of guess and check. It is annoying. It is time consuming. It is so easy to guess wrong. So what we're going to do is you're going to learn how to use your graphing calculator, because that's what you'll get to use on your test. And we're going to use the computer because I can use that to present here. But remember, on your calculators, you're going to go y equals, and you're going to type that in. And then when you hit the graph button, okay, use a nice window. So maybe you want to use Zoom 4 or Zoom 6. Okay, and then you can see which ones look likely and then do what we're going to do next. Okay, on the computers, we're going to use Desmos Graphing. And I have it handy on my computer already for us, so we'll be doing that. Okay, so we're going to, when we find these, we're going to list the possible rational roots. We're going to graph to estimate, and then we're going to use synthetic division to verify. Okay, so we're going to practice a few. We might not practice all of these, but we're going to practice a few. So we're going to find the rational roots for the following, and if you need to get a quadratic, then we're going to use either the rest of our guesses, or we're going to use another method we have used to solve quadratics. We are going to probably use quadratic formula if they're irrational. Okay, so here's our first one. Our possible rational roots are just factors of 18. Okay, that's it, because the lead coefficient is 1, so it'll just be over 1. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my Desmos. There it is. And that is this one. That's the one, right? So when I look, I see -3 and +1. So I'm going to try one of those. So back to my screen, and I'm going to try -3. So I got 1, -4, -15, 18. And I'm going to use synthetic division. So remember how that works. You drop the first number, and then you multiply with that number out in front. So this would be -3. And then you add those for -7. And you multiply, and you add, and you multiply, and you add. Okay, it ended in 0. So that is one of our zeros for our function. So we got x equals -3. Now we can choose here. Another one of those that was coming up was a 1. So we could choose to say, okay, we're going to continue from there. We eliminate this. So we're going to put in the 1, and we're going to do synthetic again. So 1, multiply, we get -6, multiply, we get 0. So we also get the 1. Right, so this started as x cubed. When we did the synthetic division, we lose 1 degree. So now it's x squared. And finally, it's x. So our last one is x minus 6 equals 0. So we get x equals 6. And there are our zeros. Okay. So you can see how quickly that works. All right, here's another one. Possible rational roots again. 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 20, I believe. Okay, so we're going to go back to Desmos, and that was, which one? Okay, so -8x squared, so it's this one. Take this one off. Well, looks like -1, 4, and 5. So I can come back to this. And we're guessing -1, 4, and 5. Does not matter which one we use first. Okay, some people like to start on the left and do the negatives, get that over with. And that worked. Okay, so I'm going to do this one the other way now. This started as x cubed. So now this is x squared. So I'm working on the quadratic x squared minus 9x plus 20 equals 0. Ready? So I'm going to factor that. There we have x and x. The product is 20. The sum of the same two numbers is -9. Well, that would be -4 and -5. Okay, now the zero product property says that if the product of two or more factors is 0, one of those factors has to equal 0. Okay, so if x minus 4 equals 0, x is 4. If x minus 5 is 0, x is 5. So these are the zeros for this function. Okay. This would be done the same way. Okay, I want to go to the 4th degree problem. So possible rational roots. Factors of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 6, 12, right? And factors of 10, 1, 2, 5, 10. So I'm getting quite a few there. All right, so this is the 10x to the 4th. So when I come back, that's this one. Oops, sorry. There we go. That looks like, whoa, miserable. Okay, this one looks like 1/2. Oh, it's 0.6. So that's 6/10. This is negative 1/2. Not pretty. Okay, so we're going to use the negative 1/2 and the 6/10, 3/5. Oopsie. There we go. Let me do it this way. Okay, so negative 1/2. So we've got 10, negative 11, negative 42, 7, and 12. So here's 10, that would be negative 5, negative 16, that would be 8, negative 34, that would be 17, 24, negative 12, how about that? It worked. So there's our negative 1/2. Okay, and the other one was 6/10 or 3/5. You know me, I'm a fractions person. Okay, so here's my 10. 3/5 of 10 would be 6, so that gives negative 10. So negative 6, negative 40, that would be 24. Negative 24. Was supposed to be good. So the 3/5 works. Okay, so now, remember that started as x to the 4th. So this was x cubed. This is x squared, and I could take a 10 out. So I got 10 times x squared minus x minus 4. Okay, if I set that equal to 0, now I've got this quadratic, because 10 is not going to equal to 0. 10 is 10. So now it would be time for me to use quadratic formula. So a is 1, b is negative 1, c is negative 4. So when I do x equals the opposite of b, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all over 2a, I'm getting x is 1/2 plus or minus the square root of 17 over 2. Now that is not a rational root, but because we were able to get it down to the quadratic, then we were able to finish solving it. So this has 4 answers because an x to the 4th should have 4 answers. Okay. 2 of them are rational, 2 of them are irrational. Great. Here's another one. We would do it about the same way. We could take a look. I did graph that one too. Okay. So that looks like these aren't irrational. Oh, there's 1/2. That would probably work. And these two would probably be irrational. Now this one looks rational. I think we'll take time to do that one. So we got the 1/2. And we've got the negative 3/4. Okay. We're going to run out of time. Plus or minus 1 and 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 24, and 48. I probably missed one. Oh, I missed 16. So a lot of options. I think I got to pause and come back to this one. We're going to put it on a second video.